you know, being the Alliance fangirl that I am, but I take a look at what they've got in the lineup. I see that Profit, I like the saw, and it just kind of makes sense to me. So, Alliance.
All right, let's see who gets the lanes they want, and let's see who can set the tempo for this second game of this best of 3 series. We're heading over to OD Pixel in BSJ.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yeah, so Brian, we've heard what the panel's had to say. What are some of your thoughts looking at the two drafts we have coming into this game too between OG and Alliance? Topson bringing the tiny mid back. Is it going to work?
I'm just coming from the perspective of Riki, where I've played this hero a lot this patch, and it feels like anytime you're dealing with the early tower pressure, you just lack any wave clear or anything you can really do to stop it yourself. And he's dealing with a 5-position Nature's Prophet and a Timber, who should be able to play up in his face for pretty much the entire early game, and there's not too much Riki can do to change that. I think it's a lot going to be on Topson to snowball the map control. I've seen Topson and the TI do the whole phase boots, run around, never stop killing people strat. And I think he's going to have to get some crucial kills early, because PA is one of Riki's worst matchups in the carry role. Riki never really wants to buy MKB, and PA is also one of the few carries that can burst him in a matter of seconds before he gets that trick
30
trade
seconds
off.
to battle.
And sort of, you know, Tiny in this meta and as a hero, you know, why is this something that a lot of teams aren't picking? Like, what are sort of the downsides of Tiny? What does he not offer that so many other mids do in this pack?
I honestly think he's an okay hero. I just think he enables a lot of mid laners like Storm, who don't necessarily have the strongest levels like 1 through 3, that they would kind of just free farm.
The battle
and
begins.
That if you pick Tiny too early in the draft, it would hand a perfect game to the opponent. So in this case, Void Spirit's more of a very reliable laner. Kind of gets a decent start no matter what matchups he's in. So in this, like, he's more about enabling himself as the Tiny than it is about worrying about the farm of the opponent.
See how well Limp's able to do here. Match up against the Tiny. And sort of overall then, do you have a draft here that you do prefer coming into this game too?
I would much prefer to be the PA on Alliance's draft. I think Nikobaby last game surprised a lot of us with his ability to basically just do as much damage and be as tanky as he was on Weaver. And a lot of that was on the back of the space that S4 made for him. And I think we're kind of seeing a similar recipe. I think S4 should have a great early game. It's not going to be until later they can deal with Timbersaw. And PA's really only weakness is the same as Riki. She lacks wave clear early. She hates to have people playing up in her face and running at her. So in this case, she's not really going to worry about the tower push as much as it is the Tiny that's going to be trying to invade her farm. That's what I'm worried about for the PA.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Topson's able to make those moves in the mid game and really cause issues for Nikobaby when he's still sort of in that farming phase of the game. So far, we're with the lane setup up top. Seb and Sax is trying to do their best to put the pressure onto these two. I mean, is Nikobaby going to farm all right up here? Can FNG do enough to keep him safe in this lane?
Yeah, PA usually only struggles if they can dive, and they can harass her a lot. You may have to buy a little bit of extra regen. Prophet's a great support for that, though, because he can always TP base and buy some himself or pick up anything figured out. Brewmaster is a nice lane because you have the Cinder Brew that's easily activatable by the Fade Bolt, but I really am only afraid of kill lanes if I'm PA. He doesn't necessarily mind just daggering from afar. Her base damage nowadays is decent ever since they've been giving her that buff over the course of patches. Hey, it looks like he's going for the phase boots. I like this a lot against every hero that isn't Tiny, so I guess that's a bit of a concern, but nice in lane as well against Riki.
Dyer's top tower.
Talking about the Riki down bottom, Alliance doing a great job of really harassing mid one in this laning stage. Taking huge amounts of damage there from the two of them.
Yeah, they expertly counter this Riki. Timbersaw, absolutely nothing you can do about it from Riki's perspective. And PA being the matchup, as good of a matchup as she is, I will be thoroughly impressed if mid one carries this. I feel like this is a very hard Riki. And I will learn a lot.
Flyers of the wood.
Not off to a great start. I mean, as you said, it's a hard game for the Riki. And Alliance, they started off with a first blood against him. This lane proving to already be a little too much for mid one to handle and survive against.
That's actually crazy. Hanskin just went for the mana burn. But Carapace really isn't that great in this lane against the low instance of damage from the Riki Blink as well as the Shadow Demon Poison. So he's just being super annoying and saying, hey, mid one, if this lane wasn't hard enough for you already, here's less mana for you.
We'll see if mid one can play a little more safe as well. Again, just these two. Every time he tries to step up, making it very hard for mid one to find his farm down here. And, you know, obviously last game we saw mid one have a very tough time on the safe lane Ember, so eyes definitely on him. Excited to see what he's going to be able to do this time round. As top lane, attempts to go on to FNG. Nikobaby's going to jump over towards Stacks. FNG will go down. Can Nikobaby get the trade kill? Yeah, he'll be able to do all the Fairy Fire. Indeed, he wasn't quite ready for that. Did start to back off, and that's going to cost him the opportunity to finish that kill off, as Nikobaby won't be able to find him in return. One around the mid. Hanskin sweeps in, able to secure this arcane rune for Limp. Very juicy bottle refill for him as well. Some of Topson would have he's going to miss out on a lot here as Topson low on the mana front too. And part of me, I'm just consistently seeing mid one just being unable to really step up to the wave here.
He's look at his build for Riki. That shows he knows he has absolutely no aggression potential here as he is to weather this Timbersaw storm. The problem I have with this tiny last pick is that against Timber, if your carry can't naturally stay in lane against it and defend the tower, that usually you have like a mid laner like Ember or something that's gonna go bottom and just deep push the wave, distract the Timbersaw as much as possible. I don't really know who that is for OG. I don't know who they bring down here to stall the Timbersaw's early momentum pushes with the catapults. As the thing that is Timbersaw is so nice here is he flourishes against carries that have to stay in lane. If you're a carry that can kind of just dip out and go jungle, Timbersaw loses a lot of his early effectiveness in terms of shutting down the opponent carry, but Riki has no backup plan.
Mid lane. Getting in onto Topson, but Hanskin off the mark there with the stun. Topson able to do a good job of juking it. Turns around to look to kill off Hanskin, but the Remnant's out. Protective disruption there from No-Tail. His poison won't kill Hanskin, and Topson does end up going down at the end of it all.
Yeah, you were mentioning he was struggling for mana, and he was 5 mana short of the Avalanche.
But there's chase hit from Limp. Another beautifully placed Remnant. I mean, really getting the work done there with that arcane rune. 2 kills for Limp in the mid.
Yeah, this patch can be rather toxic with these early lineups with heroes like Timbersaw and Nyx, where you just can't deal with them. And it makes your whole entire game awkward because that movement mid is allowed to happen because Nyx is just not needed at all bottom. And the snowball effect is insane how quickly it comes into play. S4 is going to certainly be looking to apply a lot of pressure with this catapult. Bottom lane, he is level 6 as well, so that amps up his damage and aggression to threaten anybody who defends. Really interesting what OG does about
tower is under attack.
See, in the jungle, Hanskin and FNG starting to invade. A lot of damage onto it, No-Tail here, but able to make his way around the tree and body block. But yeah, as you say, it's definitely going to be a question of how on earth did they get these items onto Riki. Like, can mid one go elsewhere on the map? As you said, he can't really hit the jungle creeps. Top lane, we'll see Topson coming in with the rotation onto Nikobaby, but he had pretty much a full wand. He's going to be off and into the trees, and they can't hunt any further for him. So this move not going to be successful here from the two of them as Nikobaby's able to sneak himself away. And yeah, this is just time wasted here for OG.
Really good itemization from Nikobaby, having wand raindrops to be able to survive through that anticipated tiny burst.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Mid one having to be very cautious there. He gets caught by that Remnant. He'd be dead for sure.
Bottom tower's already dead, by the way. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he just finished it off. I mean, this is, yeah, that bottom lane. I mean, it pretty much what went as you would sort of expect it to do, right? You've got this Riki lane. They're never going to be able to hold off this Timber's early pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. But I didn't see anything that OG's entire lineup could do to stop. S4 now going to play his own dead lane, making sure that there's no tower pressure up top coming out from OG. This is a really nice way to enable heroes like PA. They want to sit taking the safest farm on the map, chilling bottom. Yeah, Tiny's going to take over bottom. I guess I expected Riki to stay bottom, but he's going to be jungling a small camp around mid. I don't know. It's not like a flame. I don't think there's much better options for mid one. That just does not feel good. What the game looks like.
I mean, I guess at this sort of stage, what for OG, the real pressure is going to be on Thompson and Seb to just make moves and keep the game going to allow mid one to get the time to get his farm.
Yeah, I love what Thompson's doing here. He knows he can't really kill Nikobaby, but he knows Nikobaby can't really mess with him. So he's just being annoying.
Well, look at that.
Well, they're going to bring in a pair of hands here to try and have a go on to Thompson. Hansken joining to try and push Thompson back, but as you say, Thompson's still very much knowing his strength. See Top trying to get aggressive on, but yeah, he's not really under any pressure at all. In fact, Seb might be forced to get out of it as he has to TP away from S4. As it really does seem at the moment nothing they can do about this. Timber Limp comes in from the side with the DD ready to go, blows up Saxa. And the pressure will be onto another tier 1 tower. So not only S4's presence laning down bottom, allowing them to get that very early tier 1 tower taken from the safe lane of now moving up to this top lane. He's sort of pushed them out of this area of the map, and he's getting pressure onto a second tier 1 already at 9 minutes in.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Whenever I watch teams like OG, I feel like I'm watching 5D chess, where I don't fully understand how they intend to win this game. And right now, if they win this game, at this very moment, I have no idea how that's going to happen. And I know it doesn't seem like they're down by that much, but PA's getting way better farm than the Riki. And Timbersaw, I guess PA's only ahead by 100 gold. Wow, what? I just tuned into the network.
This should make my life easier.
Never mind.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
CFNG.
Timbersaw just dealable with. I just see all this stuff and I'm like, PA's farming bottom. Timbersaw's #1 on the net worth. Void Spirit's game's perfectly fine. Like all 3 cores on Alliance are perfectly happy. You'd rather have the good start on Timber than PA because Timber's the one that's making mistakes. So, man, OG, I feel like they just neglected to respond to Timber, which is a hero, in my opinion at least, requires a response. They look to invade or kill Nikobaby bottom. But he's Spidey senses are tingling here.
He's going to stick at least around the tier 1. He's got FNG to back him up.
Radiant's top tower
and do you like this from Nikobaby? He's got the Deso queued up, so not going for the Battle Fury. I guess going for something that's going to allow him to play in a way that will really punish this whole time where mid one, he knows mid one has to get the Battle Fury on the Riki. And he's going to be able to be so active before mid one has his core items to fight with.
I don't know how much I like this or not.
Teammate Limp. Getting it onto Saxa.
Radiant's top tower.
So you see that OG's electing to just play completely away from the Timbersaw for him, but that's costing them all their tier 1s because wherever S4 walks, bottom first, then top, now mid. Thompson's trying to make as much space and action happen as possible in the other lanes, but does killing a Nature's Prophet really matter all that much as Limp TP's in?
I mean, definitely not. If it costs Thompson his life, Remnant's going to be off the mark. Hanskin impales down. Thompson's going to get burst out. Except he's out with the TP. If they got anything to stop it, they haven't. But as you say, Thompson with the aggression, sure, he gets the profit, but he loses his life.
I would say space from Thompson and Seb, but I don't really know space what for, you know? I like this TP on from FMG to the high ground. This is one of the cute things you can do on Nature's Prophet support. You can do it on core too, but you got nothing else to do when you're support. He is only level 4, so he's basically just a ward for his team at this point.
And S4 still very much seemingly in unkillable territory. I mean, does it ever sort of...
tower is under
when are they going to be able to kill this Timbersaw this game?
It looks like Seb has just gone brown boots Spirit Vessel, so that's the timing they're looking for. But they didn't get any new charges bottom after using it to be aggressive on FNG there because he died too far away from the brew.
Radiant's middle
S4,
tower
I think if they
is
can
under
hit this
attack.
window where they get a Spirit Vessel charge before this Yules comes out, that I
Dire's
think is
top
the narrow
tower
window
is
they
under
will have to
attack.
hit.
Radiant's
S4 is
middle
going to
tower is
single-handedly
under
take
attack.
mid tower while it takes a
Dire's
4-man
structures
commitment from
are
OG
fortified.
in order to get the trade.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Thompson. He's got to probably TP out immediately here.
Dire's top
If he
tower
wants to live, he's
is
going to
under
start
attack.
making his way
Radiant's
out. And
middle tower
he's
is
out
under
in time.
attack.
So
Good
very-
space.
Yeah.
When you're a mid and you have a hero like Riki that just has to farm all the good farms,
Dire's
all the
top
nice
tower
safe
has
farms,
fallen.
and he's got no other options, you have to get creative. You have to take some super dangerous farm, force the enemy team to come respond to you without dying, and that's exactly what Thompson's doing here. The overwhelming blink hero.
Yeah, we'll see if he follows up on that. That'll be a pretty wild first time rush, the completed overwhelming break. See the haste room's going to be grabbed up by S4. I mean, S4 can look to run down Thompson here with that. Of the L-back by the disruption. Dagger out attacks of a limp falls. But the brew split out and that extra bit of control to keep S4 held in place with the Wind Panda. Comes back down though. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything aggressive onto S4. They've got to start running away from him. He's still got the remainder of that haste going. They'll try with the combo and the Spirit Vessel. That might just do it. He's out to the side of the Timber Chain, but the Spirit Vessel allows them to get the kill. Mid-one in with a finishing hit.
Oddly enough, they had to wait till the Brewmaster ulti ended because he still gets the Spirit Vessel charges while he's in Brew Split, but he can't use it until he comes out. So that was really well played by OG. That's step one. The thing about this Nikobaby item choice is that there's two ways you can go. You can try to capitalize on the fact that Ricky's not able to fight by going the Deso like he is, or you can just capitalize on the fact that he's going to be passively farming too, and you outscale him, so you just go for the passive farm route.
Radiant's
And
middle
he's choosing
tower
the
is under
former.
attack.
I feel like in NA they always choose the latter, so
Dire
I don't exactly know how this
scanning.
one's going to play out.
So they know Hanscam was sneaking around there with all the sentries they had set up.
Look at that.
They come in, drop the
15-minute battle fury for mid one. Honestly, pretty damn good, all things considered. Really bad lane. Riki has no farming steroid to enable him to get that sooner like Jug-type heroes and Troll-type heroes do.
No, I mean, absolutely, considering the start he had. And as you say, now when you see mid-one actually being still able to achieve this sort of Battle Fury timing, did that makes you a bit worried, a bit more worried for the build that Nikobaby's going in return?
It just means that they have to get a lot done with the Deso and the timing they hit. They can't be content with the status quo of both teams farming at this point because Riki will just be much happier with the items he's bought compared to the PA.
Top, no tail. Gonna find the setup onto Limp, but just set by his side. Thompson starting to move in as well. Alliance, they are beginning to set up in the jungle. Actually, Limp maybe seeing if he can get the connection onto Seb. Seb, a split available, he's out of mana, and he's out of life.
Prophet ulti.
Let's see if they can get anything more out of this demonic purge, slowing down Limp for now. Over to the side, Taxter. He's trying to get out, and he'll make it away. No TP cancel there between the two of them. Same to be said as
Dire's middle
those
tower
surrounding
is under
motel.
attack.
Can't put a stop to his escape either. So, I mean, I'm definitely very intrigued to see if Thompson does indeed do this. I mean, it's not a lot of times you see the full blink, well, pretty much no time, where you see a hero that wants to rush the completed blink upgrade as their pretty much first and only major item.
There's one player in the world that'll do it. It's probably Thompson.
I mean,
It's almost got that Ags.
Yeah.
1,200 gold off. That's really important against Riki specifically. Heavily reliant upon spellcasting to survive. Missed the dust bottom. Narrowly missed.
Yeah, very close there. Mid-one just able to jump outside of the range of it. And still, you know, as every moment passes, mid-one getting that little bit further ahead of Nikobaby's farm on the PA. But they've got to get some action done with this Deso.
Totally, I'm really liking what OG is doing here. It tends to be how it goes when I'm watching OG in drafts where it doesn't really make sense to me what they were doing. They just killed the Timbers all once. Suddenly the momentum on the map, it's palpable. You can feel that's kind of gone. They've taken all the tier 1s, and now what? Oh, the Sentry flipped the Nick a bit.
Dire's
He walked
middle
out of it. I
tower
was
is
wondering
under
what
attack.
I mean, and you definitely seem right. It seems that, you know, I mean, what do Alliance go for here? I mean, all the tier 1's taken off the map. Like, what is the next move? Are you trying to make smoke moves with this PA and the Deso? You know, who are you trying to hunt down?
That's why I'm really surprised. I'm gonna...
They're going to try and get the jump in, but again, stacks up. That's stolen spike character, stopping the initial burst from Alliance. And now Saxon, maybe we can try to see if they can get the setup of the turnaround. Disruption used, but already Nikobaby finds himself his first target. Is he not to no-tail? Now we'll turn over towards Thompson. In he goes, they'll get the two of them. Saxon trying to fight with the help of 7. His final split. Nikobaby's going to end up going down as Mid1 gets the kill. Nikobaby's dead. Hansken also falling. As, you know, now FNG is in it. As Mid1 and Step, they're going to look for him. FNG goes for the TP out, but they've got the stun. FNG going down. Is that all? And we see S4. I mean, I don't think the three of them will be able to do anything about him. Yeah, S4's going to be able to step away. But this has got to be a big concern, right, for Alliance, Brian, is, you know, this is fights where your PA has got a Deso, an item to fight with, but you're losing to the team that has the Riki with the Battle Fury. Mid1's getting more out of these fights than Nikobaby is.
Yeah, my honest interpretation, and this is with the presumption that I'm 100% willing to be wrong, is that I see them take all these tier 1s, and I look at the map right now, and I'm not really sure what Alliance can do objective-wise, like to further their map advantage. And by going this Desolator, you're pretty much saying that's what you want to do. If you want to go continue to force the issue, while if you just on Battle Fury, you would be content trading farm because PA scales better than Riki. So I'm really skeptical of Nikobaby's plan of this game, and just like I was skeptical of what OG was doing earlier, I'm now skeptical of what his vision of this game is.
Top, they will manage to get the kill on the Seb. Mid1 finds FNG though. Mid1 and Thompson, they're seeing if they can get back in on this. Thompson, controlled by the Yules and Alliance, completely splitting. Mid1 won't be able to find any kills, but again, just finding the space to continue to get his ags done, and it's pretty much there. So again, just all things said and done, when you look at the lane that Mid1 was given at the start, the beginning he was having, 20 minutes in, he's got his ags Battle Fury. This is brilliant timing for the Riki.
So what skipping the Battle Fury does for Nikobaby is that usually you go Battle Fury, Deso, BKB. But now since he's removed the Battle Fury, his BKB timing will be a bit earlier than it would otherwise have been. So the fact that it's going to have maybe a minute or two earlier BKB, but his later timings will be delayed, it just means that they really have to hit that timing hard. That's what I'm looking for. I always go into the assumption that these players know more than I do about this scenario. So I expect that's what he's probably going to be looking for, as OG wants to get mid-tier 1 as Limp stalling out as best he can.
See how much Alliance can do to slow down this push. S4 standing forward, but immediately the vessel's down onto him into the follow-up combo. He's caught the smoke screen. We're going to see them try and jump over towards the squishies. He's looking for the Shadow Demon. He'll get it. Big crit comes out from Nikobaby. His no-tail falls. S4 still alive, chains himself away. The vessel continued to tick him down though. Thompson in with a chase. Another burst combo takes out S4. The damage from the trick to the trade sets up for another as Mid1 gets the kill. Now Nikobaby, he's isolated alone. The stolen to stimulate from Saxon, giving him the ability to dodge to the side, keep himself away from the PA. PA getting controlled in by Thompson and Seb as there's another dead. S4 brought back here in an attempt to turn this fight around, but he's just alone. The vessel down upon him. Another plan put in place as S4. He's got to be careful. He brought back for this. He's trying to get out of the start with the triple check, but Thompson blinks it again. It's a dieback on S4 here at 22 minutes. And the numbers, it's 14 to 14, less than 1k in. But you really can't help but feel that Alliance is really losing any sort of momentum this game. And that Mid1's Riki is going to become a big, big problem.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
When I say PA scales better than Riki, that's assuming they both have the same farm. One is 3,000 net worth ahead already, and he went Battle Fury Ags. Kills creep waves instantly, as you see top here. He just pushes his third spell, and boom, they're dead. On the other hand, PA, he's being forced to fight. He has a fighting build. He's died twice ever since buying it. I legit think this could just be a misread from Nikobaby. I think OG is punishing this, like, sense that Alliance had that they could continue forcing the issue. They were being aggressive with the Timbersaw when they had Spirit Vessels with no rules, and now they're trying to fight in a time that it appears was too early for PA to be able to fight here. Because even when he went for these fighting items, he's kind of just died to the tiny, overwhelming damage and the control coming out from the Brewmaster. Spirit Vessel owning.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick from Seb. I really do think like OG had to play this near flawlessly to punish what Alliance is doing here. So it's more impressive to me what OG is doing than it is, you know, the shortcomings of what Alliance has had happen recently.
Dire are
Now we're
scanning.
going to have OG entering into the pit. Will be scanned out by Alliance. See if they're going to be able to try and put up a fight there to push OG off this objective. We have Seb, and Seb just 100 gold away from having Aghanims himself. And it looks like even with the scan Alliance, they're not looking to do anything about this. They don't feel confident of taking a fight around the pit in this moment where Nikobaby's still a few hundred gold off the BKB. So OG, they're going to be able to get this one for free.
Radiant are scanning. Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
I think one of the hardest things to do in Dota is to accept that you can't do anything about what the other team does. And I think what the secret to OG's success this game was to accept that they could absolutely do nothing about the Timbersaw. For so long early game as Seb died to the limp solo plus the Nature's Prophet ulti. And I don't know if you've checked it out, Owen, but have you looked at Thompson's item queue?
Yeah, he's nearly got it, dude.
He's committing.
He is committed. It wasn't a meme. It's, as you said, if any player's going to do it, if anyone's going to rush the straight upgraded Blink, it would be Thompson. I mean, what do you think about it? I mean, it's going to add a lot of damage to his combo, right? And it's going to be something else that's going to be very hard for Alliance to run away from when he's in with that slow.
Yeah, I think it's just all about the control. Keep people in the Ricky's as well.
No, that's true. Very true. And bottom lane, I mean, S4... After what was such a solid start with the way that he was able to play around the map, get the tier ones as early as he did with the pressure, his game has just taken a massive hit at this stage.
Yeah, Timbersaw, he's feast or famine. He's either unkillable or he's a pinata because he's used to be unkillable and now you just feed off of the candy inside. I look at this overwhelming Blink from Tiny, and I actually asked myself, what would be like a better item? What does Tiny need to do his job? I can't really think of anything. It's just going to be a Blink combo anyway, so might as well make that Blink combo that much more potent as it's now an AoE slow, and it also does, at this point, about 340 damage.
Under attack.
Blinks in.
That's a fair amount. And then, of course, adding into the extra bit of damage he's going to have with the punch, thanks to the strength and that general tankiness. I mean, it all checks out. A very nice hero to get this item on. And yeah, the slow, as you say, I mean, it's a very strong slow. 6 seconds slow. 50% movement speed. Mid lane, Thompson coming in onto the two of them. As you can see, Hansken, he's going to really struggle to run away from this sort of initiation now. Anytime that Thompson's in with the overwhelming Blink, you cannot run.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That will be a free kill here for the side of Alliance. While I say that, Thompson's going to come in with the counterplay. Nikobaby has to put the BKB and run away.
Are fortified.
First charge down, and he's having to use it to retreat. S4, he's been found in the trees. He's trying to get his way out of there, but there's just so much damage. And now Midland with the full Daedalus at 27 minutes in. He's ready to start kicking out those 1K crits.
Yeah, that's when Riki looks absolutely disgustingly broken. When he's this far ahead with these items against these fragile heroes coming out from Alliance. A really high win rate against Nyx and pubs, by the way, guys, if you're having some trouble with Nyx. Really hard to stun somebody who's invulnerable during the damage that they deal.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
See if they can get in there once. I don't think they're going to be trying it for a second time, though, right now.
It's probably the last time mid one hits a building this game. Probably what he realizes there. kind of the nature of Riki. The hero's kit is all about the informational advantage that he gains by being invisible and then being able to jump you, so that's very counterintuitive to hitting buildings. But he had the Aegis there, so it's not like he lost anything major. Back to farming.
Very juicy rune as well there at the river. DD up there, they go and pick it up. They're looking for the setup here onto mid-one. They've got the trap with the remnant, but a nice save here from No-Tail with the disruption. The follow-up is there from Hanskin, comes in with the stun, and there's crits are there this time in the hands of Nikobaby as they take down mid-one. See what more they can get from this. Nikobaby over towards Saxa. They'll get a second. Alliance, can they get more from this? They're trying to chase down Seb. He comes out of the split. Alphys is out though. Nikobaby's ready to jump over, and finally, Alliance able to get the team fight in the way that they hoped for. Enabling Nikobaby, allowing him to go from target to target, and starting things off by taking down that Riki.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge. There's no way you're farming your way back into this game for Alliance. Really good move by them. I love watching it. Like I said, I'm skeptical of what the PA's items were in terms of the timing, but this is exactly what they flourish at, and despite being down, they have identified exactly what they need to do to win this game, and I always trust they know better. I love to watch it. I love the fact that FNG is going these nice enabling items. He's basically giving his PA extra network. He's got drums, he's got a solar, he's going a soul cuirass after that. This is just effectively giving Nikobaby an item or two. Comes to that carry-to-carry matchup as the game goes on, that can definitely tilt the balance in Nikobaby's favor, even if Riki is higher network.
And yeah, a fan of this was seeing here first time this patch as well. You know, No-Tail getting the bots nice and early on his Shadow Demon.
Of course, yeah. Just a normal
just
Boots
OG
of Travel Shadow Demon timing, yeah. I think Boots of Travel can offer so many things to different heroes. One of which can be like split pushing away from your team. I think in the case of Shadow Demon, it's that he can show up to fights and ganks because he's like that crucial +1 to offer that extra damage. I think that's what he's going for here.
Thompson trips up. They've got to be cautious though. Thompson has this DD ready to go for the next jump. He's going to pop it now. Alliance, they want to try and fight into this Seb. The split. As Alliance themselves to separate. He's going to see and jump on a No-Tail. No-Tail has to buy back. They instantly take him down with a big crit. Seb has the control onto Lim. See Nikobaby focusing down Thompson with his BKB up. He's getting the work done. A second kill for Nikobaby. The BKB does now come to an end though, so he has to be careful of the chase here, but he's out with a blink. Off to the side. OG try and turn their efforts towards S4, but he's underneath the tier 2. Actually thinking about chasing back in on this. Dust still out onto mid.
Mana burn stolen. That's super annoying for us. You gotta love the entering the carries mindset from mid one. He had the Aegis and he queued up the butterfly, dies with the Aegis, then dies afterwards, and suddenly the BKB. Well, it looks like I'm gonna need one of those. We've all been there, I'm sure. That you usually buy a BKB after your third battlefield, Owen, or when do you usually go for it?
I usually buy it in the next game.
Oh, of course, of course.
You can see a little bit of the old rat-a-tat-tat here from FNG. Instantly put to a stop.
I think what No-Tail is doing with the Boots of Travel is that somebody at all stages of the game is going to have to deal with the annoyance of the push. And honestly, nobody else really wants to. Tiny wants to be ganking, Riki wants to be farming while looking to be the +1. Brewmaster is the frontline team fight, so he's probably the best candidate. Probably enough.
That's 4. And he aggressive here by the tower, looking to take out No-Tail. OG's there with a response. They lose No-Tail, but mid-one, he's found the setup straight in onto FNG with a trick to trade. He gets the crit. Takes down the Prophet. See what more they can look for. Lim committing with a BKB. He's got the catch onto the Riki. Nikobaby's there with a follow-up. Another crit in as Nikobaby takes down mid-one. I mean, mid-one's down for 80 seconds. Alliance, they are pulling these fights out effortlessly now. Despite this period of the game where mid-one's farm was starting to get ahead, they're controlling and killing the Riki. This is a huge amount of time. Riki's out of the game. Alliance is going to be able to put a huge amount of pressure onto the base. Stops him. Trying to slow them down. I mean, they'll just start moving over towards it. The Sten's on him. Nikobaby's in with a follow-up. Thompson's dead. No buyback on him either. I mean, all the tier 2s have been taken. They've got a lot of space alliance to at least take one set of racks. And maybe even more with the fact that these buybacks aren't up.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Yeah, this is, I always say I'm either right or I'm learning. I'm learning a lot.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah, this
is
is,
under attack.
I mean, this is just, you know, it's clear now that this is the plan that Alliance had all along. They were just playing for this 30 minutes, group up and go. It didn't matter if Farm was going to be there on mid 1. They felt confident in the initiation. We've seen pretty much each time, you know, Limp and Handscan, they've been getting that opening onto the Riki, whether it be the Remnant or the Impale, and it's just ruined mid 1's game. It's been irrelevant how much farm he's had on him because they're just blowing him up throughout the durations of the stuns that they have.
Yeah, it might be a bit of overconfidence from mid 1 to go for the Daedalus before BKB, maybe like casual Crystallis before BKB. There's so many small mistakes that you can make in the game of Dota. And sometimes they just snowball into oblivion, as he's probably needed a BKB for the last 2 or 3 team fights now. As you said, Alliance has chain stunned him perfectly with the Ag's Void Spirit as well as the Impale from the Nyx. And PA represents the damage you need to kill him, and that's why this matchup's so good for PA. And you end up taking the blur evasion on Nikobaby, so he literally doesn't touch you. He's got 80% of it.
With this smoke move, if they can catch one of the big boys, maybe find Thompson. They do. There's the opening. Nikobaby getting the bash straight up. The follow-up's there. Thompson, he needs help. Is he going to get in time? No, they're all bailing on him. They can't save Thompson. As out for 80 seconds. Again, Alliance just blowing this game wide open now. 7k lead for them. DD rune popped on Nikobaby. He can really start to continue to keep this pressure on. I mean, they're smoked up on OG. But I don't think they're going to be scared of too much. They'll look to take the Roche with this DD. Heading over to the pit. But OG, I mean, they've just taken huge hits now in the last 5 minutes of play. And I think they're going to be pretty shaken up by all of this.
I think they have to get an NKB or a Rapier on middle one. It looks like they're going to let Jack just contest the H. Just so quickly, though.
They've got to get it. I don't think they're going to be able to get it soon enough. The damage from Nikobaby. He's taking it down too quickly, and he's got it. There's the kill. There's the Aegis. They're outside of the pit. They do lose Limb. Instant burst combo comes into play. Handscan though with a beautiful stun onto the 2 of them. The setup's there onto No-Tail. Stolen Impale, thrown back here. Will cause the death of Handscan. See what Nikobaby can do to clean up. He's jumping over. He's been able to find the first target. No-Tail. Now he turns up towards Mid-1. Mid-1 popping the BKB, but he's having to run with this BKB. He's trying to get out of here. Steph comes to a finish with the split. Remnant out, controlling him. Mid-1's trying to jump back into the tricks. The traders, he got enough damage to kill Nikobaby. Nikobaby getting low, but the BKB's still good to go. As they've got a backup, they can't even kill Nikobaby the once hit. I think they have to get back into position to protect their axe.
Yeah, they're just super durable on Alliance's side. All that blur evasion, the Temper Saw, and FMG doing exactly what Nature's Prophet does best. It's even better when it's just a 5 position. You do the same thing as a core Nature's Prophet would, maybe a bit slower, but every fight they're on a timer on the side of OG. And this is just kind of Riki. The nature of snowballing heroes, man. You either kill everybody in 1 second, or they end up being durable enough to not die at all. He is queuing up the Rapier. He knows
he needs it.
They're out this game.
Yeah. Especially with this AC Solar Crest build from FNG. It's, you know, perfect to have alongside this PA. And a PA now with the Ags complete. So it's going to be even harder to control in these fights.
Yeah, PA is always also good against Riki because Riki feeds the information game. He wants to jump you, and the Ags, Nikobaby shows he truly understands this matchup. It's obviously going to be goodbye anyway, but...
He's going in on S4. There's a lot of backup here for S4. Mid-1, he's got to get on the retreat. Thompson's able to get into the combo on the 2 of them. As he's found them, the look pops the cheese BKBs up. He's going to be fine. Silence onto Nikobaby. Nikobaby trying to run. The stun's there from the Brew. Can Step finish him, but once he can't. Nikobaby's still fine and good to go. Mid-1 has to use the BKB to retreat. Big stun comes out. They burst through the Aegis of Nikobaby. And also find the life of Handscan. Can they kill Nikobaby a second time? As he's standing to the side, still has the backup of Limp, FNG, and S4. Alliance,
So is BKB.
they still seem happy to go in on this limb. Starting things on the Thompson. Nikobaby looking for the perfect time to jump in. Still watching from the side.
No buyback on him.
First through limb. That is limb down for 100 seconds now. Nikobaby looks to commit in onto Seb. That's going to be the brew down. Now popping the BKB. Turns on Thompson. A buyback comes out for Seb, but he cannot get in position to save Thompson in time as Thompson is down. They have caught S4 on the high ground as S4 not quite able to make it back out as easily as Nikobaby did. So S4 will get left behind here. Chase from Saxa, finding further setup onto FNG as OG look to try and get as much as they can off this defense, but they won't be able to stop the TP out. The Prophet's away and Nikobaby's back in!
The sentry on the
He
hydro.
buys the Riki! Saxa's got a ghost step to save
Radiant's
himself.
middle barracks has fought
But
Radiant's
Nikobaby
bottom
just weaving
barracks has
perfectly
fallen.
in and out of these fights. As he's just in again. He is diving into tier 4s. They do have the stone control. He's 20-second cooldown on the BKB. I mean, I guess weaving perfectly in and out of the fights until then. And they have indeed got what they can for that. I don't think he's going to be too fussed with being dead for 90 seconds. He may not have buyback, but how much can OG do about this? Up against the mega creeps here at 39 minutes. Alliance, they're definitely tasting the victory here in this game. It feels very close to them if they can keep this up for one more fight and just push OG over the edge.
It was so crucial that mid one survived that fight. His buyback here cost him so much time on his rapier because I thought that was going to be the hardest hold for OG to get past. But the only reason that it was going to be the hardest one was because if mid one survives, he'll have a rapier for the next one. And that is their timing for OG. They have to somehow keep this game going for long enough to make that happen. This game has been wild back and forth. Every single time I think one team's favored to win the game, the other team seems to take the reins. So I almost have to believe at this stage that I would favor OG based on my interpretation of this game so far.
I mean, OG's definitely got to do something pretty wild to come back into this one right now.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, so they're on the probability 6% here for OG, 94 for Alliance, considering how well Alliance has done here in all of these fights and how well Nikobaby's just popped off with this build and in a way that, you know, regardless of the farm that Mid 1 had early on, Mid 1's still very much a vulnerability. If one of these carries gets caught out, it could be pretty much game for each team. As up top, Thompson is caught out alone. And again, no buyback.
Dire's
Still
top tower is under
just
attack.
a little short on the goal. 40 gold short of the buyback here, Thompson Alliance. They're going to try and chase for more. S4 leading in. Pokes out a response from Midbon. Midbon actually jumping over to the small creep. Nikobaby's prepared with the dust. Midbon trying to hide in the trees. Jumps over to clip it with the tricks of the trade. He'll be able to get out of there. There'll be a buyback from Saxa. Seb committing with the split. But Seb can chase down. He's trying to go in onto S4, but with the hood and the Bloodstone, S4's fine. Bottom lane, FNG going for a bit of split pressure. OG, they'll be able to punish it. As FNG caught on his own. They'll find themselves the kill.
Such a tall ask for OG here. They have to push lanes against Nature's Prophet, Megas, and the pickoff potential of an Axe PA and the Nexus. They quickly are wrangled back into their base.
See Midbon trying to start the action here with Seb. As Lip always straight in off the back line. He's found the gas for the sack. So he's able to burst him down over the stage. Comes in. The disruption just takes a bit of time, but Hanskin has the impale to follow it up. They've caught Limp. Limp is dead
Radiant's
though.
middle
Damage
tower
is
is
enough
under
here from Midbon. And into the trees they'll find Hanskin as well. The cloud is down. Hanskin, has he got any means of escape? He's trying. He's running through the trees. But they're on top of him once more. The tricks of the trade will do it.
1,300 gold for that rapier.
He's closing in on it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Do you get that gem under their control? I mean, once he has the rapier, I mean, how hard is it going to be for Alliance to push into it? Like, do OG realistically have this chance to swing this game round with that rapier?
The big thing is that PA and BKB right now is invincible. Once he gets the rapier, that's not the case anymore. So it'll affect a lot about PA's ability to actually dish out damage in the fight, because Nikobaby will have to be much more selective about when he goes in. And Yeah, I don't really know how OG consistently gets out on the map unless they kill heroes. So if Alliance doesn't really fight into them, I don't know how they get out. But I also don't know how Alliance goes high ground now, unless they kill OG. Definitely a matter of who can get the initiation onto who around the map. As Riki, as he scales into the game,
Dire's middle tower
becomes
is under attack.
so obnoxious to deal with because you just can't see him. And suddenly you're dead. As he now hits for almost 600 damage, ignoring backstab.
All right. I mean, they're up against the Megas, OG.
And he's got ninja gear. That's actually even more annoying. God, this game would be so annoying to play. You're dealing with an Axe PA, split pushing Nature's Prophet with ninja gear, and a Riki with a rapier. I don't know. Very enjoyable to watch, but I don't envy the people that have to play against this.
No, this is certainly a good one. As Alliance, you know, the fact that they have these Megas, they seem on the verge of victory, but it's only 5k between them. And this Riki with the rapier is, it could definitely be a problem. It's going to be all down to the execution right now. Alliance.
You can get that level 25. 3 toss charges would...
OG this time around could give Alliance a pretty formidable fight around the pit, and Alliance know it. They're a little cautious on how they commit for this.
Dire are scanning.
They know that OG's going to come in and try and make the jump.
Radiant
And there it is. Actually, it's going to be Luke starting things off. He looks to come in with the BKB there, able to catch out, take down Status. Spike Carapace set up onto Seb with CS4 running towards the backlines, trying to split OG apart. Top two comes with a combo. Mid1 jumps over. The BKB coming out from Nikobaby. As Nikobaby's out of the tricks of the trade. He's on the retreat. Mid1's looking for a target. He chases him to get it. He's going to place down onto the PA, and they've got the damage with this rapier. Mid1 claims the double kill. See what S4 could do to put a stop to this. Mid1's actually keeping out. He's got to defend the base. He has to get back to the tier 4s. Seb's getting run down by S4. Can Seb get himself away from this? Another Yule's off. Time for Limb to close the gap. In with the remnants. Seb down for 2 minutes. Mid1's out on the map. He's got the silence onto Limb. Limb getting taken out. The crits come into play. Mid1 gets the kill. Limb right back immediately. Nikobaby in with a bit of fast control, but Mid1's still got the BKB good to go. So the Avalanche dropped down. On the chase. He's over towards S4. S4 chaining out to the side. Another jump with the trick to the trade. That's PA down and out. A dieback on Nikobaby. Mid1 just tearing them apart here with the rapier.
Their base. Oh my god! Don't tell this solo kill. FG.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Brian, there's 2 heroes down for 2 minutes. How much can OG get done with this?
I don't know if they can get anything done. That's the thing. Like, how do you even get out of your base?
Dude.
I guess Nature's Prophet is dead now, but you're still dealing with Nyx, so nobody can go alone.
I mean,
anybody is susceptible.
Brian.
Mid1 actually elects to carry the gem. Okay, never mind. He drops it. I was curious if he was going to hold on to that.
And yeah, Mid1, talk about big brain stuff. Do you like this? Queuing up an arcane blink, so he's got that extra spam ability on his spells.
Yeah, it's not just the spam ability. It's also the reach you have.
Yeah.
You're able to follow up your tops and combo from a much further distance. We've seen it before. I think in China region they go for this arcane blink. I think it was. I can't even remember who did it first, but Ame was doing it. It's pretty cool. It also lowers the cast point on tricks of the trade, which can sometimes be the difference maker when you're dealing with stuns and burst damage from Nyx.
Now OG, they're over to the pit.
Bags on Shatter Demon as well.
Yeah.
But suddenly that break that the panel was talking about during the draft is coming into play. I think there's a lot against PA too. I mean, Nikobaby's gonna struggle in these fights. Rapier for the damage threat, and the break for the inability for him to deal damage.
I mean, they've got to find Mid1 right. If you don't catch this Riki at the start of the fights, Mid1's just going to clean up every single time. And as we've seen,
find the invisible guy, you know?
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, as you said, you mentioned earlier, obviously OG, it's not necessarily easy for them to find the PA, but definitely even more difficult for Alliance to find the Riki. As long as Mid1's able to keep himself to the side and be truly confident in his whereabouts of Alliance's hero's positioning before he commits in. Going for the Roche. Alliance are all back up. They're going to take this Roche down pretty quickly with that rapier damage.
It has to be quick because the lanes are pushing in.
just scouting things out with the Wind Panda, able to hold people back as well. OG, they're going to be able to get this cleaned up. Who's taking what? Thompson? He's going to take the axe. As now they're chased in. They've got the catch on the West 4 limb, jumping in with the BKB, trying to help out. Can they burst him out? The base is dying though. Tier 4s are falling. If Alliance can just sort of keep OG out and distracted, the Treants might just do it. The first tier 4 down, the second tier 4 down as well. As OG, they may be getting the kills, but they've got to get back. FNG's in, he's looking to close this down. Treants are doing it. FNG's going to be able to end the game. He's got it, surely Thompson, he's trying to hold them